Now, guys, I did a previous video. If you haven't watched it, please go check it out with regards to Ashlee coming out on her platform and telling the world that it really wasn't that bad. Now, look, I read y'all comments. Something just isn't adding up. Ashlee has been talking about this abuse for years. Now, all of a sudden, she tells us that it wasn't that bad. I don't know about y'all, but something sinister has happened here. And it seems like they are working really hard to cover some things up because one plus one is going to always equal two. I understand that Ashlee has healed, but it seems like something weird has happened. And maybe Ashlee doesn't know. But has anybody paid attention to how she looks exactly like Towanda? Now, I know Towanda is her aunt, but Towanda looks like she could possibly be her mother. Now, I don't have any proof. This is all alleged, but isn't it very interesting how Ashlee looks so much like Towanda? And now Ashlee is telling us that everything she went through wasn't that bad. I don't know about y'all, but something just doesn't seem right.
Please, I don't have any time for any gossip now. Eh? Yes.
Now, Ashleebraxton has been talking about her story for years. And the most interesting thing about her story is I never ever heard her story until recently. So, although she's been talking about this for years, for some reason, people seem to think that she just came out with this. When in all actuality, for some reason, her messages didn't make it very far. And I always thought that maybe she was shadow banned because with a story like hers and the family that she's from, you would have thought that it would have had a much wider support and more people would have saw it. But if you look at the views, they're very low. Now, I'm really going out on a limb and I'm really thinking here to see like something sinister has happened here and we need to try to think about what are the potentials here. So one thing we know is that Ashlee's father wants to silence her. He wants to silence her at the expense of her own life. And the reason why I'm going to say this is because we know her sister passed away, okay? Just think about the sister passing away and you having one daughter left, but you want to silence her. There's something more than Ashlee that Ashlee has already told us. I believe it's something more to that. And let me just tell y'all why I'm in this rabbit hole. I recall when my niece was small, I took care of her. She thought that I was her mother until she got older and she realized that I wasn't her mother. So she thought I was her mother because I was the one taking care of her. And at the time, I don't know if I shared with y'all that my sister had a child when she was 14. I mean, a 14-year-old doesn't really know how to take care of a child, right? So when my sister was 14, I was about, I think I was 21. Let me see, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Yeah, I was 21 years old, 20 or 21. I think I had turned 21. So what I started to think in my mind, I'm like, wait a minute. When a child comes into this world, they don't know really who their mother is. They just know who provides for them. And then they assume that that is their mother. So I started to think, I said, this family is very weird. Now, I know, Tamar has said that all families have stuff, and we all do, but we don't have this here. So this is not normal. And I want y'all to understand this. There's definitely something sinister about this that the father keeps trying to keep her from talking. Now, Ashlee tells us, y'all, that the mother took her name off the birth certificate. And as I thought about that, how could the mother take her name off of the birth certificate? In what um in what world can a mother just don't want her kids, leave them to the father and say, listen, you just, what does she do? Show up at Vital Records and say, hey, take my name off the birth certificate. That doesn't seem right. Like it's something about that. And I'm not calling Ashlee a liar. I believe what she states. But if you guys follow the story, Ashlee as a child would only know what she's been told. Just what if Towanda is her mama? I don't know. This is all alleged, but it's something weird surrounding here. I also was able to obtain a video in where Ashlee is saying that she has brothers. So this whole entire story doesn't seem to be fully told, and it's something weird. Now, I'm just going off of what we know has happened in this family. Now, Tamar said that she was essayed by multiple people in her family. And Tamar said that she did not receive support from her family. Ashlee has been telling us, well, she frankly, implicated her father as the person, as one of the people who did some very serious things to her. And y'all know what I mean when I say serious things. Now, Gabe, who is Trina's husband, with the sexting, yes, she did say her aunt's husband, but we all know that that's Gabe, okay? Who is Trina's ex-husband. But what we do know is that her father was abusive to her. This is what Ashlee said, okay? And I'll bring up the clip. But now, and I understand healing, when people heal, but one of the things she stated in her video was very concerning, and it made me think, like, what? I understand, when you heal, you move forward, but healing does not negate what happened to you. And when I say that, Ashlee went on to say that what she went through was not that bad, which really had me in a chokehold. Like, what, Ashlee?
Because it wasn't even that bad, but use me as an example for you if you need to tell your story. Because it wasn't even that bad, but use me as an example for you if you need to tell your story.
So now it wasn't even that bad. Now, listen, I have tons of stories that I can tell you about growing up, and it wasn't even that bad to the point that I would never even talk about it because it's nothing to talk about. But the point that you took your story and you told about how you went through these things as a child, but now all of a sudden it wasn't even that bad. There's something sinister here. Now, I don't know what it is. I'm just trying to figure out what we've been told opposed to what's the truth. Now, as I said before, Ashlee, as a child growing up, as a baby, as a toddler, you know, at some point you would forget. Like, if I would go back in my mind, I think the earliest that I can remember something is 5. I don't remember nothing from when I was 1, 2, 3, 4. The earliest I remember is 5, maybe 6 years old. So Ashlee being told these stories of her mother, at some point with a child, you can tell them the same thing over and over to the point they will believe it as if they saw it happen. Now, let's get into some factual information. Now, again, I'm not saying that Ashlee is a liar. I believe everything that she's saying. But in regards to the mother being able to remove her name from the birth certificate, if you guys do any research, this is something that is difficult and not common, okay? Now, in circumstances where you may see this happen, I couldn't even give you an example because keep in mind, y'all, a birth certificate is a legal document. So if the mother is able to remove her name off the birth certificate, then that means that no one knows who the mother is. So think about that for a moment. The fact that Ashlee had been told that her mother removed the name off the birth certificate, isn't that weird? When you do research on that, that is not something that's common, and it's just not something that happens because it's a legal document and it tells you it can't be altered, okay? Now, Some specific legal processes, such as adoption, maybe, but you don't see that happening. So I'm not sure where that story came from or why potentially that the mother would remove her name off the birth certificate. And if you guys recall, Ashlee kept saying that she had, she had seen her mother, in previous times. And the story just is very weird. And it brings me back to Towanda again. Is Towanda her mama? I mean, inquiring minds want to know. Now, I get you can favor your aunts and your grandmother, but she strikingly favors Towanda. She strikingly favors Towanda, even more so than Tawanda's own daughter. Now, this gets interesting because this family deflects and they lie and they come up with stuff. What about Toni Braxton making it seem like they had never heard anything about Ashlee's story until now?
Hold on. My niece Ashlee, who we love very much, posted her videos on social media with some accusations about her family. My family was a little surprised.
Now, the Toni Braxton, honey, and I'm going to say the Toni Braxton because we know Toni Braxton has been a star. But let's be honest, we don't know that lady. Toni Braxton tells us as if it's a surprise that she ain't never heard about Ashlee talking about her story. Girl, this is a lie from hell. Ashlee, you can go Google her. There's so many videos that she did years ago, which is the video that you guys are seeing now on the screen. Now, in this video, y'all, she tells the lady that her father and her mother went their separate ways. Okay. Then she goes on to telling the interviewer that when her dad got with this woman, who ultimately, if you go back and watch that video from yesterday, the woman was a racist because she called Ashlee and her sister the N-word. Okay. Y'all know what the N-word is. But Ashlee also goes on to say that when her father got with this woman, this racist lady who then became their stepmother, they were happy, or she was happy because they were getting a new mom. Then she went on to say this woman put her name on their birth certificate. Now, listen, y'all. That is not how it goes. When your dad decides to remarry, get a new girlfriend, they don't put their name on your birth certificate. Now, again, I'm not making Ashlee out to be a liar. I believe this could have been information that she had been told, but something about this shit don't make sense.
She put her name on our papers and things like that.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And so there was she put her name on our papers and things like that.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And so there was
She put her name on our papers. Again, I believe what Ashlee says. I believe what she said happened to her. But I believe the different instances in which, however she arrived at her conclusions, could be a little bit flawed because I believe this is information that she would have gotten from her family. What in the hell is going on here? Because you know as well as I know that your birth certificate, your mother's name don't continually change, and it has nothing to do with if your father remarries or if your father has a girlfriend, because your birth certificate is a legal document and it just don't change because you as a mother decide I'm going to have 3 more children. I am going to change my life and I don't want to be bothered with these damn Braxtons. The people at Vital Records don't give a damn. Now, I want you all to pay attention because this story gets even more creepier as I went back and listened to it again. Ashlee implies that she has brothers. And I'm just wondering then where in the hell are the brothers and why are they being hidden? What is really going on with this family? So this man has sons?
moments that were great, and I have 2 half brothers. So
love them, everything. Moments that were great, and I have 2 half brothers, so love them.
Guys, Ashlee said, I have 2 half brothers. Now, let me break this down for y'all because I understand everybody has different acronyms that they use for different things. And sometimes you may be using your acronym wrong. A half brother is a brother with whom one has only one parent in common. So the one parent in common would be her father. Her father has brothers. Where are these brothers? And why is it that we don't hear this family talking about these brothers or these nephews that they have? In fact, Ashlee goes on to say that she doesn't have a relationship with them either because of the toxicity in the household. Now, this is why I am erring on the edge of who in the hell is Ashlee's real mother, because I don't believe anything that the Braxtons say. Now, did they tell us about these 2 brothers that Ashlee spoke about years ago? This is not a current interview, okay? Now, it looks like Michael, that is potentially why he's sending these cease and desist out, because he doesn't want us to know about anything related to, the nasty activities that he was allegedly involved in. Is him and Towanda the parent of Ashlee? I don't know. But why do these people have all of these secrets? And then they're on reality TV. Make it make sense.
You had stepbrothers. Did they come with her? Were they part of the package, or did they come along later?
They came along later. Okay. So my sister is 3 years younger than I am. My oldest younger brother is 4 years. And then after that, it's 8 years.
Okay.
So they came after. And it's unfortunate that even now we don't have a relationship because you were just pit against each other.
Yeah.
So the household was like all for one and one for all. You better guard up.
Wow.
And it's not really healthy.
No, definitely not. No. I was wondering, like, what would the effects of those circumstances be on the younger brothers? Because it would be very difficult for them to, I guess, develop respect towards you and your sister.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We don't see eye to eye because the way they see life is very different than the way I've seen it. And so for them, it's hard, which is understandable.
Yeah.
When I'm speaking these things about their mother, these are quite harsh accusations
of course.
that I'm saying.
Yeah.
And if you were not there to grasp what was happening, then perhaps you think and be like, I think this is a little far-fetched.
Yes.
And that was something that was really hard for me because I come from this family.
And guys, in closing, there you guys hear Ashlee saying that she has brothers. Now, when I originally listened to this video, in my mind, I assumed, and that is based on what I have saw in the Braxtons, I assumed that these were her stepmother's, kids that, kind of made it a blended family. And I assumed that she just called them stepbrothers, but that is not what she's saying. Judging from what Ashlee is saying, that Michael has sons, 2 other sons, y'all. We don't know nothing about these people. We really don't. And that is why I'm saying, is Towanda Ashlee's mother? Because we don't know. We don't know what's going on. I just realized that there are 2 sons that we never hear these people talking about. What else are they hiding? Is Towanda, is she Ashlee's real mother? I don't know. They look exactly the same. There's a lot of shit that's being hidden here that now I'm understanding probably why Ashlee is backing down on what she stated, because now it just wasn't that bad.
Because it wasn't even that bad, but use me as an example for you if you